On a whole new vibe these days. Old school Louisville boy like Reese Gaines. I know we were cool back then, but things change. Your chick give me brain, my chicken's free range. Reporting live from the five.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, very special guest. I feel like maybe I'm looking in the mirror, except looking back at me is a younger, more talented Brazilian version of myself, Rafael Lenhard. You go by Rafa, right? Or Rafa? I mean,
Yeah, Rafael is okay too, but generally, Rafa is okay.
Rafael Lenhard, man of my heart. Welcome to the show. How do you say the hunter in Portuguese? That's what I want to know.
The hunter, o caçador.
O caçador. That's what I'm going to go back. Well,
Alex,
Rafa, you go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I love that you said that you feel like you're looking in the mirror. Give me 5 seconds. Hold on. I got something for you guys.
Oh boy. I can't wait to see what this is.
Yeah, the cool Crum shorts now.
No way.
It's him. It's me.
He gave me the shout out. I had to, dude. Yo, this came in just in time. The Amazon truck was just outside my house as I got back from practice, so that was perfect timing.
Nice.
I was like, I gotta do it, dude.
You got to do it. That's incredible, man. Well, especially once I saw that you were going to play Zane. I was like, oh, Zane.
I know.
Zane's getting mowed down again, that poor guy.
Okay. Wait, okay. Can we just start with that? So, like, you were aware of AC's run, right? Like,
yeah, of course. I'm
okay,
a huge
but
fan of Pickle, so.
The parallels are crazy because months before your breakout run, you both beat Pablo Tejas. So it was kind of like, okay, that was like great win for both of you months before your big breakout, but that one didn't get picked up by media. Then you guys both get through qualifiers. You both beat a top seed, AC beating Fed, you beating Ben, and then you both beat Zane Navratil in 3 games.
Yeah.
And I know, Rafa, you were winning in game 2 against Zane to close it out in 2, but you decided, you know what, I want to also beat him in 3, just like AC, right?
Yeah, that's right. I got to keep the storyline going. And then I'm playing the APP in Newport, so
right?
I mean,
right.
Things are happening.
Can you also freestyle? Like, what else can you do that?
That's not happening. There's no chance.
Dude, in Portuguese,
I did see.
baby, let's go.
Yeah, somebody was like, if this guy starts rapping or freestyling, I've seen it all, and I'm like. Sorry to disappoint, guys. That's not happening.
Gotcha.
Well, Rafa, thank you so much for joining us, buddy. Congratulations on your amazing week. I actually watched, I would say, like 95% of your match against Ben. And something that impressed me the most watching that match, because I saw a few people were like, here we go again, like tennis players in the lifetime ball. People who didn't watch that match don't understand that, like, you played a good amount of cat and mouse in that match. Like, you were not just nuking every ball like what I do. Like, I would not have been at the kitchen line with Ben, but you won quite a few points beating the best at his own game. So that, like, thoroughly impressed me because you were not afraid to get into that and you had quite a bit of success there.
Yeah, thanks, man. It was weird. I do feel like I have good skills for cat and mouse, and I don't know. I mean, I played a lot of mini tennis when I was young, so maybe that translates. But and I gave my practice partner a shout out on Zane's podcast as well. But Andre Millett, he's an unbelievable cat and mouse.
That little guy can ball.
You know him.
Yeah, I've seen that little guy. He's a baller.
Truth be told, he feels more dangerous in the cat and mouse than Ben. Like, if I'm playing Andre in a practice match and he has time to set up for a ball, a forehand and backhand, he's so deceptive. He's so aggressive. So with Ben, I didn't really see any other option in those points. It's like, I like to hit big serves and big forehands, but I also like to mix it up and play smart. And if I was going to try to blast every ball past him, I don't feel like that would have been the smart play. So that's why we ended up getting the cat and mouse points. And I have, good length, a good wingspan, and I'm mobile and you can move. So I feel like that played in my favor. And maybe he was a little bit off too, right? Maybe he was not taking it as seriously as he would have laid around. Maybe he thought that I was going to be popping up a couple more shots. And so the points just started happening. And yeah, as the match was going on, I was like, whoa, like, I'm winning some cat and mouse points against Ben. This is kind of nuts.
No, man, I was thoroughly impressed because, again, like, I can do it. I just will simply not do it. I hate cat and mouse. You will never see me play cat and mouse. I'm trying to drop and crash more. Like
Yeah.
dropping crash, that will be my first step forward rather than full-blown cat and mouse.
And that's a great play too. That's another way to win points. Great variety. But it definitely takes an extra level of focus and concentration to like not pop the ball up and to really you have to slow it down, I think, in your brain during those points to know what the right shot is. So
100%.
So I love that you shouted out your buddy from home, training partner and stuff, because it's crazy how like I feel like sometimes when you train with like your best friends or whatever, like they know like all of your shots and all of your weaknesses. So it's like it's almost sometimes it's like mega resistance training because it's like they know exactly what you don't want, and it's almost like, well, clearly it helped you prepare against like the best in the world. So you know, maybe
absolutely.
one for one on like the whole game might not necessarily be, you know, a carbon copy of what you're going to face, but
Right.
certain aspects of the game, they're like, you know, every serious player can be really, really helpful in that training.
Yeah, that's totally true. Just that cat and mouse aspect and being in the safe zone and also understanding what's effective. And also, I just had watched Ben play so much over the last year. I love watching him play, and I like watching pickleball. So I also kind of knew the shots that he likes versus when he tends to be a little bit more passive.
Nice.
Interesting. And yeah, I think with any of those top guys, like, you know, you've watched them play over and over and over. Same thing with me against Fed. Like, I'm sure Fed had never seen me play before, or maybe, and Ben had never seen you play before, right? So I do think there is some sort of an inherent advantage in that regard. It's like, you know what the tendencies are, the strengths and weaknesses, where he has no clue what you're good at or what you're not good at.
Yeah, agreed.
So anyway, you just had your big breakout at the PPA. I know is this your first APP in Newport?
Yeah, this is my first APP. Yeah.
It's a beautiful venue. You'll have a great time. So what I was going to ask you is, obviously you're going to be playing rally scoring, and I assume you're going to be in qualifiers as well.
I think pre-qualies from what I've heard.
Pre-qualies. Unbelievable.
My gosh.
Unbelievable.
Ready.
Have you been practicing rally scoring? And if so, like, what are your strategic adjustments you think you might make going into it?
Man, I love that question. So I've played a little bit of rally scoring, helping Andre get ready for some tournaments, for some APPs, but very, very little. I don't feel like it changes that much. I try to win every point regardless. So, you know, if I hit a good return and I win a point, like that's just a plus, a bonus. I feel like I can return well and cover the net well. So I don't know. It doesn't change so much for me. And I don't know. Do you guys feel the same? Like when you went AC from Atlanta to, is it New York? Like, did you make any adjustments? Like, should I maybe be thinking about it, some strategic?
Yeah,
I can't tell if this is gonna help you or hurt you to hear his like. Is he gonna
first
like?
of all, Kevin's a weasel, and he could be a good singles player, but he refuses to play singles. So
Come on,
he won't answer that. Kevin could be a good singles player. Yeah, no, I think to your point, like at the end of the day, you got to go out there and play, right? I would say like the biggest difference is that, you know, inside out scoring, you can go out there and feasibly suck for like 3 or 4 minutes and be down 6-1 or 7-1 and still find a way. Whereas in rally, say you're playing against somebody like a Grayson Golden and you're down 8-1, you're like, well, you know, that's probably all she wrote, right? My thing is, I think it's so important, especially early on in rally matches, to just make balls. Right?
Yeah,
like
that's what I was thinking. Like,
just
if
make
anything,
balls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially like your first volleys at the net. Like make your first volleys, you know. I feel like I can play just a little bit more freely inside out pickleball. You know, it's not necessarily something that I'm consciously doing differently per se, but something I'm just aware of.
Yeah. As you were talking, ACS, I was kind of thinking like maybe a little bit more focus on the serve, maybe take 10% off the serve to make sure I don't fault, because then that's a point, you know, and that's really bad in rally scoring. So that mindset makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But in general, no, I just curious because it is such a different game to me. I mean, I much prefer side out scoring for singles, as does everyone that I know for the most part.
Yeah.
But it'll be a challenge. I mean, I think you'll do great. But it's a unique feeling. I'll say that. Like, but like for me, when I step out and play a rally scoring match, like it's like a heightened like I feel like someone just almost stabbed me just like a little bit
Mm,
in the
okay.
stomach, like right when the match starts. And it's like, ooh,
But
like, all right, it's only 2-2, brother, chill out. But
Was it
you
nerve-wracking.
always
like that for you? Because you've played a lot of APPs, right? Was it
Yeah, yeah,
always
yeah.
like since the very
Every time,
first one?
every time. And unless like when I'm in like the back draw, then I'm like, ah, shouldn't have lost.
There is a backdraw. Okay, I mean that's
Yeah, there is the
encouraging,
back
I
draw
guess.
where you can
you
get
can
points
fin-
and money and everything else.
you can finish ninth place. So if you lose in the first 2 rounds of the main draw, you can wrap around, but you until ninth place. So you cannot
Okay.
place top 8. But
Gotcha.
if you lose and go to the back draw, like the only people that get prize money are the people that get ninth place. So you literally have to win it to be in
You
the
have to
money.
win the backdraw.
Yeah.
And it starts at round of 32. Is that the main
Yes.
draw?
Yes.
Okay, so if you
Yes.
win 2 rounds, you're in the quarters, and then
Correct.
there's
If you lose
playoff.
if you lose in the quarters, then you're out.
But
One
you
more
get
question.
payout.
What do we know the scoring for qualifier? Is it 1 to 21?
I think no. I think they changed it recently, so I think it'll be 2 out of 3 to 15,
Okay.
which is
Nice.
good because for a
like
while there it was 1 to 21, and that's a real nut cruncher. Let me tell you.
I
Yeah.
did check, by the way. You are in the qualifiers, not in pre-qualifiers. So there's
Okay.
you don't have to go through pre-qualies to get to qualies to get to the main draw.
That would have been interesting.
You're welcome, Ralph. I made a call. No, I'm kidding. All right, Kev, you got another question for my man?
Yes. So okay, this is obviously like at least from a external validation standpoint, a big change for you. But how has it changed your mentality from 2 weeks ago to now? Like, has anything changed in the way that you approach your training or just your day to day, like confidence or attention to detail, or is it all the same? What's changed?
The only thing that has changed, and I watch a lot of MMA, and you'll hear guys say that once they win a title, they get 30% better because they just get confident, they get that validation. That's the only thing. Like going out and practicing with Drake today and with Daniel yesterday, I feel a little bit of swagger, I'm like, if I have a paddle on the
Love
ball,
that.
I feel like I can do something extra with it, but it doesn't change anything from the mindset, from the belief, from the day to day. I still have my list of things that I need to do on a daily basis. I'm still trying to set up practices the same way, get off court training. And when I get to the court, it's still the same purposeful practice. I'm not just like, oh, like I had a good run, so I could just, oh, I don't know if I could cuss.
You
Sorry.
can say the F
We'll
word on
bleep
this.
it, but go for
Yeah,
it.
we'll
Yeah.
do.
So I could just in this training session, right? It's no, like every shot that I hit, I'm trying to learn something from it or get better, just have really purposeful practice. So that's all the same. I'm just a little bit more confident, and it builds. It builds. I was playing money balls 2 weeks before. I played Kappa and I played iPickle, and I had a close match with Drake in the final. So it does this match momentum is so important to do well. So every time I get a win, it builds a little bit more. So,
100%.
You played college tennis, right?
yeah.
Okay. Like, I feel like in our college program, we always talked about being like battle tested and battle ready because it's like you want to peak at the right time in the season, and it's like what you were just saying of like, oh, like all those money balls and stuff helped you prepare and get more and more mentally sharp as you went along, and like that kind of helped culminate to the breakthrough. Like that literally is just like those reps, even though it's not like
Huge.
the PPA whatever tournament, like it's so helpful to keep you like, okay, I
Yeah.
know I can mentally lock in. I've done it recently. So it's just cool to hear you like say that because it's like, yeah, everyone's only paying attention to the last few matches you played, but you had how like 10 to 15 like right before that helped.
Oh, so many. This
Right,
whole
like-
year, since January, I'm driving around to Arizona, to California, playing 2-3 tournaments a month. And they could just be money balls, right? Where you play in a group stage, 1 game to 11, and you get that feeling of like when you step on the court and it's like kind of this bubble with just you and your opponent. Even though it's like a group stage of a money ball, at the end of it, you might win $700 if you win the tournament. So
Mhm.
you get these reps of being in the zone that AC, I heard you talking about this on pod. I think maybe it was with Lowe recently, where
Competitive rhythm, baby.
Competitive
rhythm. And
where you are playing a tournament every 2 months, and every time
Correct.
you get to a tournament, you're like, "This is my moment," and you're just
Right.
like, and you blow it, So you need that continuous motion for sure.
Yeah, and that's been like my biggest and I talk about, like if I'm playing against a Fed or any of these guys, for me I'm like, man, this is my one tournament. Like I can't play another one for God knows how many months or where it's like for the guys that are able to play full time currently, you've got a tournament every 2 to 3 weeks, and so of
Yeah,
course you want to win every match you play. Of course, you'll be upset, but there's always that thought that okay, in about 2 weeks I'll have a chance to redeem myself, and I think that's tough. That's something you have to overcome mentally,
for sure.
and also I think when you don't compete often, it's like okay, 2 months ago I beat the number 12 player in the world, whatever it is, but that was 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Like, there's that thought of like, do I still have it? Like, am I still good? I don't know,
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah, yeah.
like I think
For
so,
sure.
but I don't know what's changed. But no, I think that's a very interesting point. And again, like I said, the more you compete, the more comfortable you feel out there. I always tell people that. And I did like a little event at the Pickler yesterday, and I was talking to kids, and I was like, don't be afraid to lose. Like, that's my biggest advice to you as far as like getting better as a competitor.
That's
Like, go
right.
out there, get your butt kicked. Nothing that you do right now matters. Even for the next 3, 4 years, like you guys are 14, 15, like who cares? Go out there, lose, learn how to lose. Ultimately, it'll teach you how to win. But
That's right, man.
I think that's
Absolutely.
I
a
like
very
it.
valid point.
Can
All
I
right, we'll
just
move.
say
Go
real
ahead.
quickly, there is a balance. You don't want to just compete all the time. You do need to have some time in between to work on your skills.
Sure.
So it is a balance, but you got to have a little bit of a lot of everything.
Right.
I was thinking about whether or not I should say that or not because I work. Do you work full time still, or you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So like sometimes when you work full time, like yes, you're gonna do everything you can, like you're saying, like play 2 or 3 tournaments a month or whatever it is, even if it's local money balls. But like sometimes when you go to the pro tour events, they're fewer and farther between. So it's
Hmm.
still like yes, you're getting battle tested, but you're not getting all those breakthrough opportunities as much. Because
Yeah.
I know, like in April, Wade might did the best we've ever done before, and like if you asked me a year ago if that was even possible, I'd be like, there's literally no multiverse where that even exists. But like it was like, oh, like people were like, why are these two guys yelling like idiots like they're winning the lottery every freaking point? And I'm like, I don't know, guys. Like this, it's just means that much to us. Like
Yeah.
literally every single point means this much to us because we've been pouring our blood, sweat, and tears into this silly little game. And this is our
Right.
payoff right now. Like this is our chance. And like,
That's right.
there's just something special about like maintaining that magic of like, this is so special. It's not, every single week that I'm playing the top event, which obviously that's
Exactly.
kind of the dream. But
Yeah,
until you get
for
there, like
sure.
you got to thrive in your chances.
Yeah. You got to be ready and enjoy it. You can't be too hyped up and like AC was saying, put too much pressure because you're playing every 2 months. You got to be ready for the moment, but you also got to be able to enjoy it for sure.
Yeah.
100%. Well said, Kevin. I think that your energy on the court is inspiring, and you keep being you out there, bud.
Appreciate it. Sorry it
I
had
know.
to
I
be
know.
against you
I
recently.
know you will. Hey, listen, you just wait till me and little Slava Ignatowicz come for you and Allie this weekend in Rochester in the Flower
Very
City.
true.
Oh,
Very
there we
true.
You
go,
ready? You
babe.
be ready for that, brother bear. We'll
Well,
see,
I'll
see if
bring
we,
the
see if we get out of the round of 32 first. And then
hey, I'll bring the tripod, and I hope that happens.
gosh, I'll keep my hands up, baby.
Okay.
Very good points. All right, another little quick question here for you. The double bounce controversy, Rafa, talk to me.
Yes.
Did
Have to
that
talk about it.
now? First of all, let me just say this: I don't care if the ball bounced 7 times during the point. It's not on you to call it. So,
It might be, honestly.
but in that specific instance, right?
Yeah.
In the ball is moving so fast, it's not clear one way or the other. Did it to you? Because obviously Ben was initially very upset afterwards and was kind of
Yeah.
like it bounced by. But then, he cooled down for a second and he came over and
Right.
I think was very congratulatory, which is great on him. Did that to you diminish anything? The match ending it that way to you? Did it diminish any way that you felt afterwards at all?
Um, and maybe in moments, like if I let certain comments get to me, right, and kind of
Sure.
learning to be in the spotlight is also a skill that needs to be developed. But bigger picture, definitely not,
Right.
because I mean, only the player can feel whether or not the paddle gets underneath the ball. I felt the paddle get underneath the ball. I had 0 second thought about it until I opened up Instagram like 2 hours later and I started Like I didn't
And
even know that was
you're
gonna
like
be flipped.
you're like expecting it to be like Rafael Lenhard beats Ben Johnson. It's
And
like
it was a lot
bounced
of that.
twice. No, it
Yeah,
wasn't.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
kidding. You're like, oh shit.
And then I was like, oh, I didn't even think this was gonna be clipped. But yeah, Ben was super nice about it, and I told him, to be honest, I blacked out for a lot of not just that moment, the points leading up to it. It's like
Right.
all a blur in my head. But I remember I told him like, "Hey Ben, I felt I got that ball," and he's like, "Hey, yeah, watch the tape." I'm like, "I will." And then I start walking away, and
Like
then he,
that was like a snarky, hey, watch the tape, or like
Well, yeah, immediately after.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
Because I mean, he was first heated at the ref, and I don't know why he couldn't just challenge the ball. And I think the ref said something like you had to stop the point right away. And then and then I start walking away to grab my towel, and it's like, "Hey, Rafa, hey, great play, man." And he dapped me up, and that felt good. Like, holy shit, and John's just complimented me on my play. So yeah, it doesn't diminish anything now.
No, certainly
That,
not.
you
I
know,
was just curious as to like when you
so
first like opened up the internet, where you're like, ah,
when I first saw it, I was like, "What the?"
yeah. But
So
I mean, it is what it is. And again, it's like anything else. Like when you're in the heat of the moment, like I commend Ben for coming over and then like congratulating you in a real way after, because
yeah, that would have been a bad look if he didn't, I
all
think.
right. No, I think
Like,
that was very very
hey,
nice.
everyone,
Good of him to do.
Yeah, for
everyone
sure.
has emotions. Everyone's human, okay, right? But then
Nobody likes
it's nice
to
for
lose.
him to.
Not even
Right.
him in the first round. Even though
Right.
he did look pretty lackadaisical in game one.
Yeah.
And then he's probably like, "Oh, I gotta like
That
step."
singles is crazy though too, man. Like it's so easy. Like if you don't come out there super fired up, like I think I'm one of the best in the world and I know I can beat anybody, but I also am very aware that if I go out there without focus, like there's some 17-year-old kid who like will two-piece me if I don't
Who
bring
can
it.
like flick a back and volley super well
Right.
off your third, and all of a sudden
Correct.
they got this nice roll back in that's just a total pickleball shot, and they're
Okay,
5-5, and here we are, just beat Ben and Fed, and then
Right.
we're like in a
Oh,
third
100%,
game
man.
8-all against them.
Singles
so
is a different beast.
Yeah.
okay, in my limited singles experience, I will help people train singles every now and then, so I'll still play. But like, it just seems like a 10% drop in intensity or legs or whatever it is just a meteoric cliff in terms of level of performance versus like 10%
Yeah.
less legs in doubles. It's like, yes, you will play worse, but it's not going to
Yeah.
be necessarily like catastrophic. With
If
singles,
you
it's
got
like,
good enough hands, right, you
dude,
can make it work.
right.
It's just, I think it's just performance, man. It's that the bell curve, right? You got to
Mhm.
have some nerves and some anxiety to perform at your peak level. If you have too much, you're gonna, it's gonna be harmful. So you have to find that medium, and it's a skill that has to be worked on, just like your forehand, your backhand, your volleys, your split step. You just got to break the game down and work on it by these individual skills. So, yeah, you have to have the intensity, but you can't have too much of it.
Love it. Love it. Katie, you got anything else? I know we're trying to.
Just last little quick one.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
did a little research. In 2022, seems like you said it yourself. You watch a lot of MMA. In 2022, it looked like you're trying to pick up some Muay Thai training. Is that still ongoing?
No, man, I was just doing private lessons once a
Okay.
week here in San Marcos at a nearby gym with Javon. He's still competing in combat jujitsu, I believe. But once I bought my house in Vegas, and it was
Bought a
summer.
house in Vegas.
That's why I moved there.
This
Yeah,
guy.
specifically for the real estate. But it was summer, and it was my last summer here in San Diego. I wanted to enjoy it, and dude, it's grueling, man. Like it is way worth 1 hour of a private lesson in Muay Thai or kickboxing is way worse than any amount of court time that we get. Like you are just suffering.
It's like 14 hours of skinny singles in a row.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, it's like 1 hour. I might rather do
For you, it's like 30 minutes of
skinny
cat and
singles.
mouse,
Yeah,
huh?
exactly. Oh, it's for me 30 minutes of kitchen drills, equivalent to 30 minutes on the mat.
All
No,
right.
I'm kidding, but
Rafa,
Yeah.
is there anything you want to share with the audience? Where to find you, or what's coming up next for you?
Rafa Lenhard on Instagram, RAF.
Lenhard. I've been saying Leonard. Fuck.
Leonard, yeah, Leonard. They both work.
Okay.
Um, That's it, man. I'm wondering what I should do. Actually, AC, maybe I might hit you up for some post big win advice on how you're managing all this. But, life is back to normal for me. I'm doing sales meetings all week, and then having lunch, and then trying to squeeze in these agency meetings and potential sponsors. So trying to navigate everything has been challenging, which is okay. It's part of it, but I might do a YouTube channel. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe post highlights, maybe vlogs. I have no idea. These are all ideas that I had in my head before San Clemente.
Right.
Like once I go full time, maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do this.
Yeah.
Now
Same.
it's
That's like
closer
what
than
I.
ever. So
Yeah, I mean, in a vacuum, I would just say that like now more than ever, and this isn't just in pickleball, this is in life in general. It's the world that we live in, for better or for worse. Being able to differentiate yourself with some form of content, whether you think it's instructional videos, like, you know, whatever that may be, I think it's super important to find a niche or find a lane, something you feel like you're good at, and really lean into it. Because again, sponsors, brands, like I think that's how going forward, a lot of pickleball professionals are going to have to make a good chunk of their money from sponsorships, brand deals, etc. And I think obviously visibility and brands want to see something they feel like they can see a return on investment for. So I don't think you need to. I mean, you're a young guy. You're not old like me, so you have time to sort of figure it out.
How old are you, Alex?
What?
He's
24.
like
No, I'm kidding.
72.
Nah, I'm not gonna say it on air. No, I'm 33. A very young, spry. I actually think I'm getting younger. It must be
I
wrong.
believe that as well. You have to share your secrets on reverse aging with us.
I can't do it. Kevin knows what they are.
Yeah, I need that. Actually, I've been
It's the
doing a
vape.
lot of collagen in the diet
no.
recently, and that's been helping a little bit. So there you go.
But anyway, man. Well, hey, Rafa, congratulations on all your success, brother. Thank you
Thanks,
so
man.
much for coming on, man. And we'll tap in soon. When I'm not a huge California guy, but next time I'm out there, I'll tap in. You, me, and little DP will play some cat and mouse.
That'll be great. Vegas as well. Yeah, if you guys come out to Vegas, I'm going to be heading back there in
Yeah.
about 3 weeks. So,
Yeah, okay. There is a PPA in Vegas, end of
End of
Vegas
August.
at the Strip, end of August. I should be there.
Yep, fantastic.
Rafa,
Shut up, buddy.
I'll catch
Thank you
in
guys so
Newport.
much. This was
Oh,
fun.
Kevin will be in
and
Newport. Yeah, look
Yeah.
for Kevin. You'll hear him.
cool. Yeah.
You'll hear him.
Hopefully.
Yeah, one way or
All's going
another.
well.
Alrighty,
Awesome.
buddy. Thanks so much, man.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Take care, buddy.
So that's not a little bored. That sucks. Life's tough. Last thing I need is more stuff. It's true. I need a little more time with you and more rose with my lunch. One piece of mind sometimes.